So I'm Ben Harris.
Nola Harris.
2019, I started getting dizzy. I just noticed I'd back up or in the car and turn around quick, and I was dizzy. And that progressively got worse. I was diagnosed with Meniere's disease at that point. It got bad enough eventually I had to stop working, and I was pretty incapacitated. I couldn't do an awful lot. I was mostly homebound.
And it was mostly dizziness.
I was sensitive to light and noise. Fireworks were just killer, floored me the first time I saw them. In 2021, August, I significantly improved my diet, and it really improved my symptoms. I was virtually symptom-free, except now and then if I ate something I was sensitive to or touched something I was sensitive to, like pesticides. I worked for a long time in landscaping and as an arborist, and that was great for about a year and a half. Every time I had a relapse or a flare-up, I could almost always trace it back to something I had been exposed to, except that in February of 2023, there was a flare-up that it did not go away, and it got bad.
Any energy output would just deplete.
So the fatigue. I had to go to a new general practitioner, and he diagnosed me with chronic fatigue syndrome, which is actually the only thing that answers all of my symptoms. Meniere's wasn't an exact fit, and all the treatments I tried for Meniere's, nothing worked. But unfortunately for chronic fatigue syndrome, there's not really any treatment, any clinical treatment. There's not even a good test. That diagnosis is my doctor's best guess. But it was much worse the second time. The fatigue was the killer. I refer to it as exertional malaise, where I'm like an old battery that does not take a charge and does not hold a charge, and I deplete very quickly. The smallest kind of exertions could use up all my energy and make me crash, where I was basically then bedbound, and I recovered very, very slowly.
We just walked around the block, and he was okay one way, and then coming up the street from our house, it was like, I don't know if he's gonna actually, and sometimes to the point where he has to hold on to me to get to bed. I have to help him take his clothes off. There's just no physical ability.
Sensitivity to sound and light were much worse. I had a hard time being in any kind of a crowd or commotion. Driving was hard because there's just so much visual stimulus to see. It's like my brain just can't process things fast enough. It was like that for 2 years. It was very difficult, especially after having felt so good for a year and a half. And having thought that I was past this.
Felt good enough to run a marathon.
Which I've never done before. It was very difficult physically because I couldn't do anything that I wanted to. Really, I was housebound. Most days it was getting from the bed to the couch to maybe another couch and then back to the bed.
Sleep patterns were completely off.
Yes, would rarely sleep through the night. Some days I'd get 2 hours of sleep, some days I'd get 12, any time of day or night.
Even after like 12 hours, just still feeling so tired.
I'd always wake up feeling exhausted. My body couldn't sleep, but I didn't feel rested at all. Mentally, it was very hard, feeling I had to stop working again. And this was the second time I had hired on with the company I worked for. And so the second time feeling like I was letting them down. I felt like I was letting my family down because I couldn't be there to do hardly anything with them or for them.
The kids have to be quiet. They're very sensitive. They don't want them to feel bad, but having friends over is hard. Having any sort of commotion, you can just see the wear. Going over to my parents' house for dinner once a week was the extent of my social interaction outside of the house, and that was difficult. And that lasted for 2 years. 5% of people with chronic fatigue syndrome ever recover in their lifetime. So I really had no realistic hope or expectation that I would ever get better. And I get people all the time like, oh, you should try this. I talked to a guy and he has the same symptoms as you. He drank wild blueberry juice every day, 5 times a day. I did. I'd once drink an ounce of wild blueberry juice on the hour, every hour, for like 5 days straight. People were concerned, but nothing helped. Nothing at all helped. Nothing alleviated the symptoms in any way. I just felt like there is no solution for this. The nearest clinic that specializes in my condition is in Salt Lake. Going down once for consultation would be killer. Going down multiple times for treatment would just be inconceivable. Even driving in the car was hard, so we wouldn't go vacations. No, I didn't go outside unless I really had to. Occasionally, if I felt good, we might go for a drive, but a half an hour is about all I could do. And that was the extent of my outside. That's where we have been.